Thank you.
So we're joined on stage by the RWBY girls, Arryn Zech, Cara Eberle. Eberle. Thank you very much. Barbara Dunkelman and Lindsay Jones. Say hello then, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So how are you all?
So good.
Brilliant.
This is my first time in London, so I'm like really excited.
Yeah, you're going to be doing some sightseeing, do you reckon?
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. All the rest of you been okay? Brilliant, all good?
I'm great.
Yeah.
Everyone here has been so nice so far, too. Barbara and I had a chance to walk through the floor earlier, and we met several cosplayers and people who were fans of the show, and they could not be more sweet. So thank you guys for treating us nicely, too. We appreciate it.
Oh, sick then. So have you seen any kind of RWBY cosplays, early cosplays around that you've kind of been like, wow, like, really?
So many. We were just walking around in the hall, and already we're like, oh, there's Yang. Oh, there's Crow. Oh, there's Ren.
We had a RWBY yell at us as we walked by, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so excited to be here now.
That was me. Sorry about that.
Oh, wow.
I also see a Flip cosplay. Nice. From day 5. Awesome.
Ooh, I see a Jack from GTA 5, which is pretty fantastic.
Wow.
I see Weiss. I feel like a lot of people are dressed like me today. Like me too? Okay.
So you're all part of Rooster Teeth, girls. We'll start with that. We'll start with the first part. So you started at Rooster Teeth. Basically, how did you get introduced to the guys at Rooster Teeth, or how did it all come about for you guys?
Well, I started watching Red vs. Blue when I was 14 years old. So I was a member of the community since 2003. And then, slowly worked my way into the fan base and got to know more people, and then eventually got hired at the company. So quite the journey.
Right.
Yes.
So
I started off as the first receptionist at Rooster Teeth in 2011, and I got to meet Barbara then. That's when we worked on the very first RTX, which was awesome. So much fun. I watched Red vs. Blue back in like 6th grade.
Yeah.
And I saw the first season, and I thought it was gone. Like, I thought that was all that they did. But then in college, I met Miles Luna, and we started dating, and he started working at Rooster Teeth, and I was like, oh my God, Red vs. Blue is still around 14 years later. Yeah.
So popular, so popular.
I started watching the shorts on YouTube, actually, first, before I knew anything else about Rooster Teeth, because I was a YouTube fanatic in high school. So when I went to do my interview, that was the only thing that I had for reference. And then I started out at our live action department, and I've now shifted over to our gaming department, which is Achievement Hunter. And here we are.
Sick. So do you all miss them roles in a sense, like the old roles that you used to have? Or are you quite happy with where you are now?
I'm pretty happy about where I am now. I'm good.
Sure?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm pretty ecstatic, actually.
Good.
I'm miserable.
Oh, no, why?
Just
Come on,
kidding.
explain. No,
Just
explain.
kidding.
She means her role in life. Yeah.
So how did you all progress to the roles on RWBY? Like, how did it all come about? Like, you all were together?
I feel like Monty really just had this idea and went up to everyone individually and was like, I want you to do this thing. I want you to do this thing. When I was the receptionist, Monty, came up and said he had this great idea. And, a lot of times, you hear everyone has an idea. And you're like, okay, cool. I'm sure that sounds like a great idea. But, 4 years later, here we are. And it's absolutely amazing. And thank you all so much for watching and coming. I'm so excited to be here.
I mean, it's like 4 seasons now, over 40 episodes.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, a lot.
That's a lot. So it's a lot of hard work gone into that. So
Yes, and we did it all. We animated it. We did everything. We wrote the scripts. It's all us, no one else.
The fight choreography is actually us in motion capture suits. Yeah.
So is that you just like in a room and then you think to yourself, right, do you know what? We're just going to go at it for an hour, and whatever comes off good, we're going to keep.
Well, we'll just keep it. It stays in.
Arryn's just wrecking the set.
I am. I really just am. I need to go home.
So tell us a bit about your characters. Each of you, tell us a bit about your character, personality, their look. For people at home that, just haven't watched RWBY, that want to find something new.
For RWBY, she is to start off too, a lot of the characters that we play are very similar to us in real life already. So RWBY is younger. The girls that she is with are 2 years older than her on her team. But she's very socially awkward, but still outgoing. She wants to prove herself, and she's still kind of trying to find her place in the world, basically.
Well, Weiss is the heiress to the Schnee Dust Company, and she's a little bit, I wouldn't say socially awkward, but she's not very, socially intelligent at first. She doesn't really know how to interact, I will say. Socially intelligent. I just created a new phrase. Socially intelligent.
Socially intelligent.
There you go. Anywho, she really is getting to learn how to work with her teammates and how to get along and kind of, and the new personalities. And I think she's one that after you see the first couple seasons, you really see how she progresses and learns and kind of, comes into her own.
Blake's rather introverted. She's big on
Socially
reading.
introverted.
She's socially. Yeah, she's got a bit of a past, and it definitely haunts her just about every day, which sounds really like looming, but it's just what everyone goes through. Everyone's got their problems, and it kind of shades them every day. But I really like the fact that she does have such an interesting background with the prejudice and that kind of thing, because it's definitely a relatable topic, especially now. I think she's lovely. She's quiet. She doesn't talk much.
Yang is an awesome character. Best girl. Just kidding. She's very spunky, very outgoing. She is also very motherly. So she's kind of seen as a party girl, but she's also has that other side to her where she cares a lot about RWBY and her friends and her teammates. She has 2 lovely arms. Wait. Too soon. But no, she's a really fun character to play, and I love everything about her.
Sick, guys. Go on.
Sorry, I just realized this when I watched the Volume 3 screening that Tug did, and I really like your yell for her, because that's not how you yell. So I was like, this is a character. This is great.
Let's have the yell. Let's see the yell. Can you do the yell?
Nailed it.
Sorry, everyone else at this convention who has no idea what's going on.
Erin looks shook. She's in shock.
I should not have said anything.
So, the episode 1, season 4 aired in October. Was it kind of nervous for you guys to have that premiered? Was you watching as it went up, or did you see it beforehand?
The Volume 4?
Yeah.
I watched it when it came up. I was like a community member. I have to wait as well. And so I sat and screamed at my screen like, this is people.
Can we get a scream? Just kidding.
Yeah. So yeah.
For us at the office, and Barbara especially, we get to see bits and pieces of the episodes before they come out. So we get to see like the work in progress as it goes. But to see the final completed thing online into the public is so surreal and rewarding for us. It's awesome.
Yeah, I know Lindsay and I can't help but peek into the folder where they have like the uploaded versions of like version 1 of it with like half of it done, but we still go in and watch. And the animation, sometimes they haven't actually animated the character moving, so it's just the still figure of them turning and like no mouth movements or anything.
And we're still like, oh, that looks so cool.
So great.
Do you find it tough in the booth sometimes when you're recording? Do you kind of feel like you need a bit more shown to you?
Yes and no. I think that we get the luxury of being able to perform, and then the animation is made to our performance, whereas in anime dubs, you have to match the mouth flaps or something like that. So we get more flexibility to kind of imagine our characters and imagine what we would want the performance to be instead of kind of being shown what it should be.
Yeah.
I think it's also, after a couple of years, at least when I read the scripts and go into the booth, I imagine, exactly how the characters interact and how they sound, and now I know, it's a lot easier to say, okay, so I hear Ruby's voice in my head, and it's easy to communicate and express that.
Yeah, initially it was difficult because we didn't really have an idea of what the world looked like, what all the characters were going to look like and sound like, that kind of thing. But now, 4 years into it, it's a bit easier because you can actually see the world of Remnant and like Beacon in the background and imagine where you are and who's talking and how they're talking. So it definitely helps this later on.
I still can't think about how I just screamed at everyone. I'm so sorry. Jesus. Yeah, I have to agree with all of them. When we first started doing RWBY, we didn't really know anything about what it was going to look like or, how the characters were going to interact. So doing it blind was a little bit different. But now, you could see the scene play out.
Yeah.
You could hear how they're going to read those lines, knowing these girls so well at this point. And so it's almost like in your head you act off of them without having to be there physically.
Are you all happy with the way your characters have progressed from, say, day one till now?
Absolutely. I can't even watch Volume 1 anymore.
Yeah.
I can't. I tried and I was like, no, please, just let me do it again.
Yeah?
Weiss is getting nicer, so yes.
Yeah?
I think for Barbara and I, both of us talked about this in other interviews. Volumes 1 and 2 for their relationship was very happy-go-lucky. Everything's good. And then in Volume 3, we deal with some difficult subject matter. So no spoilers, but yeah,
Just
we've
a little
seen
bit.
we've seen a lot of character progression in the last volume, and it's only going to continue moving on from here.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of our characters are changing drastically from what we've seen in the first couple volumes. They were going to school and they were kids and they were able to be kids, but now they have to grow up.
Yeah,
And they have to grow up fast. So I think inevitably you're going to see a lot of growth.
I'm really proud of the fact that Blake seems to actually be acknowledging her past and trying to work through it herself instead of ignoring it. Because a lot of what we do nowadays is just to kind of forget and bury, and then it just festers in some kind of way in our personality. And I really appreciate the fact that she's taking the time to understand why she's upset, what's happened to her, and work through it properly so it'll properly be sorted. That was really eloquent. Yeah.
So when you deal with difficult subject matter, do you find it hard yourselves in dealing with it, or do you kind of just go through the motions? Do you do any research or something like that on that kind of area?
As far as performing goes, and I'm sure these guys would agree, it's rewarding as an actor to kind of do something different with your character than you've never had a chance to do so before. So yes, we try and research as much as we can into the scripts in the past, and I know our writers are very open about collaborating with us and having us be a part of the creative process. So we're there for a lot of the steps of the way. Yeah.
No, everyone's
I agree.
Everyone's just like, yeah.
I feel like for things like the faunus prejudice thing, you just try to be true to the character, and then it will just be good because it will be natural and it will go. But I feel like in terms of other things, like with a lot of LGBT representation right now in television has like exploded, and people are very serious because it's a serious thing for some people, and I know that all of the writers and everyone is trying to take it delicately and handle it in the way that they should. But it goes for the same with the faunus and the human, that kind of thing. As long as you're true and you want to have a good story and a good representation, then it will be. Good.
So, apart from your own weapons on your characters, what other weapon do you like in RWBY?
Oh, God. All of them.
Sitting on the fence.
We were talking before, Nora's hammer is pretty amazing. I really like Ruby's scythe. I think that's like one of the coolest weapons on the show.
I like your gauntlets. I want yours.
I like Neptune's trident.
Yeah?
That was my Weiss.
I'm all about it's in volume 2 for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, but or I lied, volume 3. Reese's skateboard that breaks into some sweet guns.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Cool. So we'll go back to kind of like voice acting and stuff like that. What aspects do you like of the process? Like you go into the booth. What do you like about it? Like you go in, do you like just it's like kind of a freedom of expression in some sense, or is it too scripted? Sometimes you do get a bit kind of, I don't know, like you go off on your own tangent.
I think my favorite part about doing Yang and voice acting in general is that you could kind of, you don't have to put on a show for anyone physically. Everything is conveyed in your voice, so you don't have to care about what you look like, what funny faces you're making, what stupid things you're doing with your body, as we all do, I'm sure. So you could just kind of like put your guard down and go all into it, and I think that's my favorite part.
I enjoy it for acting in general. I like stepping away from myself as a person and becoming somebody else. So especially with my role at the company, I have to manage a lot of people, so I have a lot of administration things going on in my head. Yeah. But then when we go to record, I'm like, okay, just forget about that. That doesn't exist. You're not that person anymore.
Likewise, kind of, on the same topic. I'm very bubbly and happy and, talkative, and Weiss is a little bit different than that. So it's fun to, step out of myself and really, kind of get into character that way. And it's fun. It's fun and challenging in the same way to, be different than you would be in real life.
Yeah, I don't really do much outside of just trying to audition and stuff like that. I'm now in LA doing the actor thing. So I love getting called in to go in because I'm super bored. I'm like, yes, please take me, let me work. It's really just a wonderful creative outlet because you try so hard to make sure that it's good and that everything that you're doing is believable. Like with the end of Volume 3, that was the hardest but the most satisfying thing that I've ever done. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, it's really nice to be able to grow and kind of see yourself grow with your craft.
You made me cry in that scene, just so you know.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's like, no, get away from her.
So we'll have one last question before we go to the audience for questions. Basically, what do you dislike about your character, and then what do you most love about your character? So one of each.
I hate that Blake has taken so long to finally sit and work through her stuff.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed because she was just like, and it's like, come on, I love you, Blake, I love you, but just sit down and know that you've been through some horrible stuff and fix it. And I love that she reads books.
I think the thing I don't like most about my character is the thing I don't like most about me is sometimes I don't think through before I do things. I just act on impulse, and it really bites me in the butt a lot.
Oh.
Same with RWBY.
I'd say I love how, the thing I didn't like about Weiss in the beginning was what a lot of people didn't like about Weiss in the beginning. She wasn't able to, accept people for who they are at first. Yeah. She was a little bit, closed off, and I think now I really like her growth, and I really think that that's something that y'all are going to see a lot more of too. And I'm happy that now she likes RWBY. You can see that she's really becoming friends with her teammates, and it's not just why are you here,
Yeah.
I'd say for Yang, probably the thing I don't like is the fact that she's so hot-headed,
right?
And up until now didn't really know how to control her temper, and it worked in her favor for the most part, but then it kind of bit her in the ass in the no spoilers at the end of Volume 3.
Don't give nothing away.
And I think the thing I like the most is just the fact that she cares so much about the people she loves, and would do anything to keep them safe and to care for them, and I think that's a very respectable trait.
Right, so we're going to go for questions to the audience. Stick your hands up, guys, so we can get this question. Oh, Foxy at the back. Like to stand up for me, sir? Thank you.
Oh, nice. I saw that.
At the end of Volume 3, when Weiss summoned the sword arm, did that have anything to do with what happened to Yang at the end? No spoilers.
I have no idea. I don't think so.
Don't want to speak on behalf of the writers, but I'm pretty sure they're not connected. But that's a really cool conspiracy theory.
I think it's a personal growth
online.
thing.
It's like, oh, sorry, was that?
Oh no, I think it's a personal growth thing for Weiss.
Yeah.
Because I saw it one image online. It's like, this happened to her, but then this happened. It's like, are they connected in any way? It's like, probably
That
not.
would be cool if you
Probably,
summoned
but yeah, it
her
would be
and
cool if
stuff.
they were. Yeah.
You should write the fanfic in which it is connected, please. I'll read it.
I could try, but
I have time.
Exchange business cards. Right, so anyone else? You, sir, over here. Stand up for me, please.
How much do you think the fans' reaction to the series, specifically shipping, affected some of the character relationships?
I don't think that the writers tried to take any fan reaction into consideration because we write the stories for you. Your reaction is going to be what it is regardless, but it's not going to change what the plan was already set.
I think, if anything, the reactions from the fans motivate us to continue, and obviously it's very rewarding and humbling, and thank you so much. But I know Miles and Carrie have spoken about how they try not to look at a lot of fan theories or things like that, just in case that should like subconsciously, make them write something, or maybe later on someone says, "Oh, you stole my idea," and they're like, "Oh no, I didn't. I had no idea. Sorry."
Right. So next question. Stand up.
This is kind of a simple question, but do you like your original outfits or your Volume 4 outfits better?
I'm a pirate.
I still like the snow pea.
I think I like the Volume 4 outfit that you haven't seen yet.
Oh.
Shazam.
Teaser.
I dig the. I'm all about the RWBY pajamas. They're great. They're comfortable and fashionable.
If someone can tell me where to buy Blake's pajamas from Volume 1, that would be pretty rad.
I like your bow. It goes great with your pajam jams.
Right.
One last question. If you'd like to stand up for me, sir.
I just want to say firstly, thank you for coming out. It's really great to see you guys.
Thank you.
With the way RWBY's progressed after season, with more characters coming out, is there any particular voice actor you've enjoyed working with or bouncing off to get ideas from about your character particularly?
For me, I'd have to say it would definitely be Elizabeth Maxwell, who voices Winter, who's my sister. She's kind of like a real life big sister. We watched the first episode, we were in together, and it's fun to bounce ideas off of her and kind of see, how she does certain things and how she reflects her emotion through just, how she sounds in her voice. And I think that inflection and, learning that way has been really, really interesting and really, beneficial for me.
I've only ever really worked with Barbara on something. Whenever we took one of the scenes from Volume 2, I think, and worked on it together. But in terms of I'm not really good with words right now. Growing with my process, I guess. My boyfriend really helped on that, like trying to actually understand the character and work through a script and a scene and understand what's actually happening and what the words say, but what's subtextual.
Yeah, just like Arryn said, we haven't really worked off a lot of people physically in the same room a lot. But I am very excited for the interaction that my character and Taiyang, her dad, have in the upcoming volume, especially since Bernie Burns, as some of you may know, who is the founder of Rooster Teeth, he plays Taiyang. And Bernie has always been kind of like a fatherly figure to me, growing up and knowing him, and he's been just a big inspiration. So seeing those two characters interact like father-daughter is really funny.
I've been a fan of anime since about 7th grade. So to know that my uncle in the show is being played by Vic Mignogna, who, again, I watched like when I was young and was like, oh, I want to be a voice actor, is phenomenal. I think it's helped the performance a little bit. Just, again, we don't get to play off of him, but hearing his voice and knowing his performance now, again, I get, I guess, the sound in my head. And again, now we get to work with actors like Elizabeth Maxwell or Yuri Lowenthal or Laura Bailey and Travis Willingham. It is so awesome.
Oh, brilliant, girls. We've come to the end of the interview. Thank you very much. A round of applause, please, everyone, for the RWBY girls. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube, so remember to give us a big thumbs up. Go and check these guys out. Subscribe, like, and thank you very much, guys. Again, the RWBY girls, thank you very much.
Thank you.